A prostitute can be conceptualized as a woman permissively giving up her body to another man, with the expectation of payment being exchanged for her services. The historical origins of prostitution can be traced back all the way to the 1st century BC. It was 2,000 years ago in northern Greece when the first form of prostitution was originated at a brothel. The brothel form of prostitution was a sex parlor that featured sexual plays, sexual activities, food, drinks, ice baths, and hot tubs. The brothel origins took place during Roman times and were looked upon by society as an upper-class club. Prostitution is one of society's oldest professions as it has been traced through biblical references. It is in the book of Proverbs where a prostitute and a whore is referenced by Ezekiel. African slavery was utilized as a catalyst for the owner to pick up the earnings of his prostitute slave. Additionally, the issue of slavery became systemic in the African kingdom of Dahomey. It is in this kingdom where the king would systematically use the government as a sex trafficking marketplace of control. The saddening truth of the matter is that prostitution was a worldwide problem that encompassed slave prostitutes being sold, traded, and degraded.
When did you start prostitution?
I started when I was 15.
What made you become a prostitute?
Well, I came from a really poor family. My mom got sick when I was little, and we didn't have enough money for food. I had to find a way to support my mother and sisters, and my dad was an alcoholic, and he used to abuse my mom, and we needed to get out of that situation. I was just so lost I started doing drugs, and that became another problem.
Have you thought about doing something else?
I've been doing this for so long that I don't think I can get out of this. I'm already old, and I'm not planning on going back to school. I'm the biggest support for my family right now.
Are you planning on doing this for the rest of your life?
I'm not really sure, but right now I have no other choice.
In our poverty, early sexual experiences and abuse, and drug addiction. Some women feel that prostitution is their only option for financial and even physical survival. When we factor in drug abuse and addiction, the links between poverty and prostitution become even more compelling. Precocious sexual activity is portrayed as a gate entry to prostitution, either through the young person's initial enjoyment of sex or perhaps through desensitization of the youth to concerns about having sexual relations with many partners.
A streetwalker is a prostitute who sells sexual services on the street, typically to customers driving by soliciting sex. A call girl has a list of clients that contact her when they desire her sexual services. She sees regular clients that can range up to 1 to 2 clients a day, up to 1 to 2 clients a year. It ranges. Call girls see far less clients than streetwalkers and receive much greater pay than streetwalkers. Call girls can make up to $1,000 to $2,000 a night and up to hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Call girls can sometimes have a madam who introduces them to clients in exchange for a percentage of the fee. A gigolo is a male prostitute who is paid or otherwise compensated for their sexual services to women. A male escort is paid for their companionship to women and not necessarily sex. A brothel worker is a prostitute who works in a prostitution house, typically a brothel, a bordello, or a massage parlor, and they receive payment from customers. A hustler is a male prostitute who sells sexual services to male clients and uses professional tactics that are similar to the streetwalker.
Party?
Yeah, with one or both of you. How much?
Sensual Flowers, how may I help you?
Yeah, how much are your roses?
$10.
Yeah, can I get 30 red ones?
Yes, would you like them seasoned or fresh?
I think I'll take seasoned.
Okay, I'll place your order. When will they be delivered?
to the Hilton Inn on SPID, room 69.
Okay, they'll be delivered in about 30 minutes. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thanks. Hey, come on in.
I'm here to deliver your roses. Where would you like them?
Hi.
Hey.
Would you like to see the girls?
Sure.
Right this way. Action.
So how much again?
300.
Can we split it by 2?
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's go.
Who seeks out a prostitute and why? The clients of prostitutes are typically referred to as Johns or Tricks. Typical clients are white, heterosexual men who are employed and of middle to upper class. Most of the men are well educated with some college and married. The average age of a client is between 26 and 35. Many would say that the clients are normal, average, mainstream men. The most commonly purchased activity is oral sex fellatio. A study done in 2009 found that 50% of men purchased oral sex when going out with a prostitute. In the same study, when the men were asked about the reasons for their actions, the number one response was that paying for sex allowed them to experience a brief, uncomplicated sexual encounter, as well as avoiding any emotional or relationship responsibilities that typically go with sex with a regular partner. Other common reasons were loneliness, sexual problems at home, curiosity, lack of sex overall, and satisfaction of an overly strong sex drive. It is extremely rare that men are arrested for the purchase of a prostitute. However, there is a diversion program that is being set up in some areas called John School. This is a court-mandated program for men who have been arrested for soliciting prostitution. The school may be a one-day session to as many as 10 meetings and has an average cost of $400. The focus of this program is to educate men about the legal and health consequences of their behavior.
I'm going to talk about prostitution and STIs. Why are prostitutes in high risk of contracting STIs? The number one reason is because they have multiple sexual partners. The second reason is because they have sex with strangers. And the third reason is because they practice unprotected sex. Streetwalkers are the most common type of sex workers for contracting STIs. Prostitutes not only can contract STIs, but they can also transmit it when they have sex with their clients. Male prostitutes are known for transmitting STIs. Sex is not the only way of contracting STIs. The sharing of drugs and needles is very dangerous.